When this dancing craze first started, I was nearly broken-hearted to discover that my shoes were full of feet that had no sense of rhythm, couldn't do a blame thing with them, but just walk around and try and find a seat. When I heard the music playing, my brain kept on saying, you must move like this, but one foot always late. I knew how I should do it, but I never could get through it, because my mind and feet would not associate. But now I'm dancing grand, took lessons to beat the band, but there's one thing that I cannot understand. I can dance with everybody but my wife. We're out of step from start till we get through. The trouble is that she insists on leading me as she does in every other thing we do. I can foxtrot like a regular fox with others, so can she. But dance together, not on your life. It's one continuous wrangle. We don't tango, we just tangle. I can dance with everybody but my wife. When my wife finds some new wrinkle, like a turn, a dip, or twinkle, she wraps it up and brings it home to me. Shoves the table in the corner, and for hours I'm a goner, hopping around like an intoxicated flea. Please don't think I haven't tried to. I'd have laid me down and died to keep her satisfied, but it was not to be. We start in turkey trotting, she says one of us is rotten, and I got a slight suspicion it ain't me. We kicked welcome off the mat. We nearly squashed our cat. What Sherman said of war now fits our flat. I can dance with everybody but my wife. I must admit, it makes me awful sore. I think we'd get along if she wasn't quite so strong, but she pushes me completely off the floor. She thinks she'll take up skating, and I'm hoping that she does. An early fall might end my woman's strife. I love to get a bun. I'll go on skates with anyone, and I can dance with everybody but my wife. My wife has got a corn she's had, I think, since she was born, and it's the most persistent corn I ever saw. No matter where I tread, it always gets there just ahead. And when I step on it, you ought to hear a roar. She says the dancing used to be the way that she reduced herself, but still she don't look nothing like a fawn. I've even taken pains to ask my wife to put on chains, because I know that if she ever skids, I'm gone. Of her figure, she feels proud, and I mustn't say this loud, but I feel as though I'm dancing with a crowd. I can dance with everybody but my wife. There ain't no use around to beat the bush. She'll look at me and sneer, and she makes me feel so queer, I never know which foot it's time to push. She told a friend the other night, our quarrel won't last long. It's just a little temporary strife. I don't want to be contrary, but it's a long ways to temporary. I can dance with everybody but my wife. When a couple start in dancing, if you happen to be glancing, you will see before they move a half an inch. If her toe he merely grazes and she looks as mad as blazes, you can bet your life they're married, that's a cinch. If on the other hand he's shocking and he's stepping on her stocking and dancing so she ought to go to law, if she doesn't make a holler, you can bet your bottom dollar that he's walking on some other fella's squaw. She'll look up in his eyes, and then she softly sighs, it's my fault, he's so traumatized. He can walk on any woman but his wife. Tear her dress, she says, that's all right. But if her hubby, dear, was to wax one half a smear, she'd sue him for divorce that very night. With others, I'm as graceful as a young gazette, but with her it's just a struggle and a strife. I can dance as good as Castle, but with her it's just a rattle. I can dance with everybody but my wife. My father was a musiker. Since he was just a boy, he played the big bass fiddle in the band. He started out to be a violiner when a kid, but he had too many knuckles in his hands. Then he tried to play the cello, but his knees got in his way, and his elbows seemed to take up too much space. So he went from bass to versa till he got a slide trombone, and he slid from the trombone to the bass. The worry turned him gray. He had to stand up when he played. But he was a philosophiker, and I've often heard him say, you can't play every instrument in the orchestra. Someone must push wind in the cornet. Some will try to get a tone hammering on a silly phone, while some make faces at a clarinet. I'd like to be the leader set for harder, but I'm not. So here with my bass fiddle I will stand and say nothing but saw bass string if my feet will just hold out. You can't play every instrument in the band. Father hated that bass fiddle, and I think it was because he had to stand for all the music that he played. He tried to sit down once and put it underneath his chin, and he nearly broke his neck that fatal day. He got a job on board a boat, 4 pieces in the band, a piano, cover, stool, and father's bass. The old boat had to sink, and as they all fell in the drink, such a look came over father's face. He floundered for a while, when up came his bass viol, and as he lit on top of it, he murmured with a smile, you can float on every instrument in the orchestra. The flute has holes and lets the water in. A drummer, if he's on the bum, might beat his way home on his drum, but then a drum is mostly all a skin. As Pa floated on the fiddle, the piano sank below, so no one could accompany him to land. Like a boat, the fiddle floated. Pa sat on the bridge and gloated. You can't float on every instrument in the band.